Good morning. Welcome back to our third segment of CityLine. It is that time of year again when the gardens are in bloom and it's time for the Tacoma Historical Home Tour. This home tour is one of my favorite things that happens in the neighborhoods because when I first moved here, I lived in the North End and I would go for walks with my daughter and I did not know about these homes. And I wish there was some way for me to find out, well, from my mouth to these three people's ear. Here it is. Please join me in welcoming former Mayor Bill Baarsma. You are the president of the Tacoma Historical Society. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Good to have you on the couch.
Pleased to be here.
Miss Davenport, you are the director of the Tacoma Historical Society. Wow, that is impressive.
Thank you.
I remember when there was a time that Tacoma Historical Society had former Mayor Baarsma and a couple of volunteers, and that was it. So you're moving on up.
Yep.
Congratulations. And always a pleasure, Brian Kamens.
Great to be.
From the Northwest Room of Tacoma Public Library, a walking encyclopedia you are with a beautiful heart. Good to have you on the show. All right, so let's just get right into this. Bill, who benefits from this tour?
Sure. Well, first off, obviously the Tacoma Historical Society.
Yes. Ta-da!
And it's a fundraiser for us, and it allows us to keep our museum open at 919 Pacific Avenue, Wednesday through Saturday from 11 to 4. No admission charge. Please come and join us if you have the opportunity. So it allows us to do that, and it also provides funding to professionalize the Historical Society as it deserves to be. Also, of course, the people who participate. This is the 24th year of our tour, and it affords people the opportunity to kind of relive history, to learn about who designed these homes, who was the architect and the owners, and their stories. And we provide in our ticket actually a book a little
Is that
book.
you, the book?
The ticket is a book that includes a little profile of each of the homes.
Hold that up.
Yeah, really cool. There it is.
There it is.
There
Okay,
it is.
Perfect.
And then it poses questions. Let me give you an example. There's the Fenton House, which is close to where I live on the tour. Leonard Fenton built it in 1906, and in the profile it mentions that he was a tea examiner for the U.S. Customs Department. Now, gosh, what is the significance of that? You know, a tea examiner. Well, it turns out that the city of Tacoma, from the 1890s, was the tea import center of the West.
Okay.
And we received tea imported from China and Japan, put on the rail, and it ended up in New York within a matter of days. We could move tea faster
All right.
than any other
Okay, so but we have to move faster because
That's
we
one
have
story
pictures
among many.
coming up. I love that. So first off, Kim, how many tours are we looking at? Has the Tacoma Historical Society conducted?
So this is the 24th
Right.
Historic Homes Tour.
Wow.
So it's truly a Tacoma tradition at this point.
It does.
Yeah.
And over the years, how many homes and churches does this entail?
It's been about 150 homes at this point.
Oh my gosh,
Some
that's
of them,
amazing.
Some of them have appeared multiple times if maybe ownership has changed and
Right.
there's been a substantial remodel or
All right.
repurposing of the property. Yeah.
Wow, that's because I've been in Tacoma for 26 years, so no wonder I walked the neighborhoods for 2 years thinking, what are those houses? So, all right.
1993 was the first.
All right, so let's roll the pictures because this is the reason why we're here. And I want either Bill or, go ahead, what house is this?
This is the Kale House.
Oh,
It's
wow.
Mason. Again, it's nearly 100 years old, and it was built originally on logs, turns out, and was in a state of disrepair. In fact, it was on the verge of being demolished. And the new owners came in and rescued the home, put a regular foundation under it. It has its original porch and windows as you move in. It's a modest home, but that's a part of the variety of homes we want to give people an opportunity. Let's see.
And what home is this?
This is the Landberg House.
Okay, and tell us about it.
Do you remember, Bill?
Well, I do know that it's a four-square house built in the 1920s, I believe. Actually, before then. At one time, the person who lived there was a Tacoma City Council member, I know. So there's a political connection. The current owner has done a beautiful job of repurposing the interior of the home and also has added an addition with an extraordinary view of Commencement Bay.
Outstanding.
Yes.
Oh, I love this one. Okay, who's going to take
This
this
is the
one?
Lundberg House.
All right.
Madrona Way. It was one of the few houses that the architect designed for his own family, for himself. For some reason, that doesn't happen a lot.
It doesn't.
Built in the early 20s, and it's just spectacular. It's got over acres of land with it, overlooking Commencement Bay and Mason Gulch, and it's just absolutely spectacular.
That kind of property is unheard of. Oh, no, this is the one that was in the News Tribune. Who's going to take this one?
So this is I love the video that the News Tribune put
Yes,
together
I
with
did
that
too.
article, because we get a chance to see the excitement of a young family moving into a historic home, and that great story about remembering as a child walking past this home with her mother, and they both admired it, and lo and behold, she's now living in that home with her young family.
Yes, she is. And the 3 fireplaces and the multiple porches.
Actually,
and
5.
5 fireplaces,
Yes.
that's right. And, I mean, just beautiful. Oh, this looks familiar. What is this?
This is the Weyerhaeuser mansion, known
Yes.
as Attaway Hall. And it was the John Weyerhaeuser's spouse had to have her way. She wanted to build a English manor house. So they tore down what was a mansion, the Allen C. Mason home, and to build this home in the 1920s. 55 rooms in this house. There are movable walls, you know, that expose stairways that you wouldn't see otherwise. Up on the second floor, there's this big iron gate that one can pull out of the wall to kind of lock, separate the living quarters, because of the concern back during the Gilded Age, concern of the owners, the Weyerhaeusers, that there would be intruders that could threaten the family.
So kind of like
They
a
had a safe
built-in
room.
panic room, only
Yes,
with
exactly.
a gate.
Exactly, and you can see that.
Wow. Oh, and this one.
This is the Fenton house I mentioned earlier, built in 1906 originally, and the house was in disrepair. The current owners decided to maintain the interior, so as you go in the house, you see on the first floor the way it looked back in 1906 when Leonard Fenton first had it built. But they put in this turret, Queen Anne turret, that provides an absolute spectacular view of Commencement Bay that ranges from and people would be able to see it, from the Cascades all the way across to the Olympics. And you can actually see the Seattle skyline from that. And they put these 2 verandas with open doors. It's quite a place.
Ooh, churches.
You want to take a shot at this, Brian?
Yeah, this is the chapel at the Weyerhaeuser Mansion. It was the Dominican sisters,
Yes,
I believe, that built this. And this is the first time in decades that it's been open to the public.
I was going to say, I don't think
So-
I've ever seen a picture of this.
So the mansion itself is wonderful to see, but this is an added benefit.
What a gift. How beautifully well done. So, Kim, how many docents does it take to put a tour on like this? Because when Bill's talking about those moving staircases and the walls, my mind went, don't touch.
Yes. So really, in addition to the homeowners opening their homes to us and to the public, it takes an enormous number of volunteer docents to
Yes.
make this the most valuable experience it can be for the visitors, to answer questions, and of course also to provide guidance and make sure everyone is safe walking through the homes. So a place like Attaway Hall, literally dozens. And of course, we have multiple shifts so that an individual volunteer doesn't need to be there for the entire weekend. So it's potentially over 100 people.
Well over 100, yeah.
That's
Total
incredible.
for this year's tour?
And this tour always reminds me of Fort Nisqually, where the volunteers are so educated. There's a magnet of people who love history and architecture, and it's where it meets right here. So, Brian, how do you go about researching your own home?
I love the way you put it, where history meets
It does.
architecture.
Boom.
We've got quite a bit of information at the Tacoma Public Library. You can find out some things online if you go to tacomalibrary.org, click on Learn, and then go to the local history databases. You can literally put your address in and see if there's anything known already. And then if you come down to the library, you can find a lot more. And again, there's the architecture side of things. If you're lucky, you might find an old photograph of your house. And just as interesting to me is the people that live there and why they came to Tacoma,
Exactly.
how they lived.
Yeah. I researched the house that we used to own, and we found it was this little Victorian clapboard. And there was a picture of a ladies' luncheon in the side yard of the house. And this is not a grand house. It's just a little 1,200 square foot Victorian. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. That's our house. And I was shocked. Wow. And so you never know what you're going to find in the home that it was your first starter home. It's really quite amazing. So in these last few minutes, Bill, I'm going to combine two questions in one for you. First off, what's next for the Tacoma Historical Society, and then who do we need to thank for this tour?
Well, let me first thank the owners.
Yes.
I mean, that's an extraordinary gift that they're providing to the citizens, and not only, as I say, the people who go through and cherish the experience, and of course, their support of the Tacoma Historical Society is crucial as well. We continue, of course, our museum in downtown remains open, and we have a new exhibit. We have changing exhibits on a regular basis, and we invite people to come and join with us and see what we have, to see what we have in our archives, and to experience Tacoma's history in that respect. We're also planning for our annual Destiny Dinner. We'll be back talking about that. That will be in October.
Sells out, yes.
Sells out, and each year we honor some aspect of Tacoma's heritage and history, and this year we're honoring what we call the Year of Destiny, the centennial, 1918. And we know the armistice was signed, and Camp Lewis evolved to become what it is today, and that was an important year as far as Camp Lewis is concerned, but it was also the centennial of the Pantages Theater opening, Rialto opening, and the list goes on and on and on. We're going to have this event at the Armory on October 20th, and we'll be back talking more about it.
Absolutely. Thank you to all three of you, and the volunteers, the docents, the homeowners, the gardeners, the people who go in and clean these homes, everybody who touches this tour to make it so memorable and so successful. And
community effort.
It is a community effort, so thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you on the tour.
All right.
All right.
Terrific.
Thank you. When we come back to Tacoma Little Theater, we'll be in these seats to talk about their current onstage production. You don't want to miss that. We'll be right back after this brief message.
It's their centennial.